It has been 5 weeks since I last flown the drone. I think I didn't fly the drone in 2021 just yet. This will be my first time, and that's just because I lost this lightning cable, so I couldn't connect my controller with my iPhone. But now, since I got it, let's fly the drone again. So normally when I wake up, I always drink my cup of tea because my voice always sounds so sleepy when I wake up. So my apologies if my voice sounds sleepy because I haven't drank my tea yet and I just woke up, so my apologies. But today we have two things to do. The first thing is we have to get some paint from the store because I have to paint the walls again, or at least some spots, because some spots are white and they are looking ugly right now. The second thing we are going to do while we are going to the store is we are going to talk about the Canon 90D and the Canon EOS RP as a duo, because when I shot my first year on YouTube video, if you haven't seen it, make sure to check it out. I shot it with the Canon 90D and with the Canon EOS RP, and I was so impressed by the Canon 90D because I had never used it before. I was so impressed that I needed to make a separate video about it and talking about why I used the Canon 90D, because there are so many cameras out there I could buy to shoot this video, but I chose for the Canon 90D. And why? That's what we are going to talk about in this video today. Let me change up first, and then we're going to talk about it. I never changed up this fast in my life. Might be a new record. It has been a while since I made the 3 reasons why video, so I love to make it, so let's talk about it. So my first reason for using the Canon EOS RP and the Canon 90D is that my workflow didn't change, my workflow didn't slow down. Canon 90D is in many ways similar to the Canon EOS RP in terms of specs and the things it can do. Canon overall has the same menu on every single camera. It wasn't that different from the Canon EOS RP, so I was used to the menu on the Canon 90D. There are many things the Canon 90D can do, the Canon EOS RP also can do, such as they both shoot at 24 frames per second, they both can shoot in 4K time-lapse, they also can shoot in 4K, they both have an electric viewfinder, they both have a flip-out screen which has the touch screen, they both can shoot in RAW, they both have autofocus tracking, and they also have face detection in photo mode. So in many ways the Canon EOS RP and the Canon 90D are very similar, and they have a lot of things in common. And when you have a second camera that is close to your main camera in terms of specs and the things it can do, you already know what to do, you already know how to use it because they are so similar. And that's the reason why my workflow didn't change or didn't slow down when I was shooting my first year on YouTube video, where I used the Canon 90D as my second camera. But the Canon 90D has some things the Canon EOS RP doesn't, even though the Canon 90D is an APS-C censored camera and the Canon EOS RP is a full frame camera. So the Canon 90D in some ways takes the edge over the Canon EOS RP. So it seems like the shops are closed, which is obvious because we are in a COVID-19 situation, and I totally forgot you can't buy, or at least you can't go into the shops. I guess we can't buy paint today because I had to order it online and I didn't know that, or at least I should know it, but for some reason I forgot it, so I guess we take this L. But let's talk about the second reason why I used the Canon 90D and the Canon EOS RP, which is they are very similar, as I said, but there are also many differences in the Canon 90D over the Canon EOS RP, and that were the main reasons why I got the Canon 90D and I used it, because the Canon 90D can shoot in 4K as the Canon EOS RP, but the 4K in the Canon EOS RP has a crop factor to it. So when you shoot in 4K on the Canon EOS RP, it crops the frame a little bit. It doesn't really matter to me because I don't really shoot in 4K compared to the Canon 90D, because the Canon 90D can shoot in 4K without a crop factor on it. So it can shoot in 4K. The APS-C sensor within the Canon 90D has a crop factor, but the 4K doesn't. So that's amazing. It can shoot in 30 at 25 frames per second in 4K, which is amazing. So besides that, it can also shoot in slow motion in 1080p, and that's the biggest downside of the Canon EOS RP, is the Canon EOS RP doesn't have slow motion, not in 4K, not in 1080, and not in 720, while the Canon 90D has slow motion. So having the option to shoot in slow motion, to shoot in 120 FPS is just amazing. Also, the Canon 90D has also more megapixels than the Canon EOS RP. Canon EOS RP has 23 megapixels and the Canon 90D has 33 megapixels, but the only difference in that is the Canon EOS RP is a full frame camera, so in low light situations, Canon EOS RP should perform better, will perform better than the Canon 90D, and in terms of the depth of field will be much more shallow compared to the Canon 90D. But overall, the Canon 90D has things I always wanted to have inside of the Canon EOS RP, but because the Canon EOS RP doesn't have it, I use the Canon 90D. And the last thing, but certainly not least, that the Canon 90D has over the Canon EOS RP, the battery life. The battery life on the Canon EOS RP is worse than Canon 90D. The Canon 90D is much better in terms of battery life, and that's just simply because the Canon EOS RP has a smaller battery, because it is a smaller camera in terms of physical specs, and the Canon 90D is much bigger compared to the Canon EOS RP, so the battery will be much bigger as well, so it will be holding up much longer. And I also just have to buy more batteries for my Canon EOS RP, but that's besides the point. The Canon 90D is holding up pretty well, even though they are similar. Canon 90D has specs the Canon EOS RP doesn't have. I love it. Lens choices. So the Canon 90D is an APS-C censored camera, which means originally the Canon 90D was made for EF lenses, and the reason why I chose for the Canon 90D is for three main things. The first thing which you need to understand is the Canon 90D is my second camera. My main camera is the Canon EOS RP. Keep that in mind, because that's very important for my reasoning later on. I don't want to spend the same amount of money or even more on my second camera, but the RF lenses are quite expensive. Just for example, this lens, the 15 to 35 mm f2.8, is 2,300 euros, which is quite a lot of money. Let's say I would buy another RF lens, let's say the 24 to 70 mm. That's also around 2,300 or 400 euros. That's quite a lot of money. That's around $5,000 almost for two lenses. So my point is, I don't want to spend a lot of money on the RF lenses for my second camera. To be much more cost effective in the long run, the EF lenses are much cheaper, so I can buy much more EF lenses for the same amount of money I would spend on a new RF lens. So the Canon 90D, much more lens choices. You can choose from much more brands, more EF lenses than RF lenses. Don't quote me on that, I'm not really sure, but I think so. And I know that we want to future-proof ourselves, but for right now, I don't want to spend this amount of money, thousands of dollars, just to get an RF lens so I can shoot with my second camera. When the time comes and I've saved a lot more money, then we will upgrade to a full RF arsenal. So the lens choices and the prices. So those three things are the reasons why I don't want to spend the money on the RF lenses right now and just go for the EF lenses. And that's just my opinion. If you think something else, if you have a different opinion, make sure to leave it in the comment section down below and we can talk about it. Those were the reasons why I chose to shoot with the Canon 90D. And with that being said, if you like this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, because I know you love to talk about camera stuff, gear, photography, videography. And if you do, please stick around a little bit longer so we can engage, so we can have a conversation in the comment section down below. And with that being said, guys, I see you guys in the next video.